Welcome to the Home Downsizing Show. My name is Ben Souchek, your host and the owner and founder of Home Downsizing Solutions. With the Home Downsizing Show, I want to provide you the information and resources to make the downsizing of your house stress and hassle-free. So sit back and enjoy the show. Thank you for joining us. Good afternoon. This is Ben Souchek. I'm with Home Downsizing Solutions by the Sierra Group, a company that buys houses direct from home sellers and makes the transition to a new home or apartment community as easy and stress-free as possible. With me today is Brian Beadle. Brian, are you a marketing director? Is that the technical term?
That's correct, sir. Yeah, we're a franchise group, and our investment group owns 9 different locations, so I'm the marketing director for 9 of those locations.
For those locations, for 2 men and a truck. And
you got it.
So I thought it would be beneficial for anybody watching today to discover and learn about the services that 2 Men and a Truck provide. Like I mentioned, my own family has utilized your services twice here in Lincoln. So I certainly think highly of your company, and that's why I wanted to have you on today. And to start with, Brian, if you could just tell us a little bit about how 2 Men and a Truck got started, if you would.
It's actually a fun story. So whenever I tell somebody that I work for 2 Men and a Truck, I always get the answer that, oh, that started in my hometown, didn't it? Like every single person I ask thinks it started in Lincoln, or they thinks it started in Omaha. And it actually originated in Lansing, Michigan in mid-'80s. I think 85 was the first year. And the 2 brothers, John and Briggs Sorber, were actually in college at the time, and they just wanted to generate some beer money, and they had a truck. So they started hauling stuff, and it was for their mom's friends, and they did pretty well. And they eventually ended up going off to college and just kind of quit it for a little bit. And mother, Mary Ellen Sheets, decided that, she's still getting requests all the time for movers. So she told the boys that she's going to keep it going, and it just kind of blew up. Not really overnight. It took a while, but in the first year, she made $1,000 take home cash. And she took that $1,000 and divided it 10 different ways and donated $100, which, back in 1985 was a decent amount of money, and donated $100 to 10 different charities. And that's kind of where our whole core values came into play, and they started to get built on that as giving back to the community. We still today donate a good chunk of our revenue just back into the community via moving services. So it started in Michigan in 85, and it started with, just literally out of a garage. And we're now at, I would say 350 locations across the country. I think there's only 6 states we're not in currently as a franchise system. We're in Ireland, Canada, a couple different places over Europe. It's just grown into this immense system. It's pretty awesome.
That is a good story.
Yeah.
Looked at your website before we jumped on our call here, but I think if I recall correctly, some of the services that's on the website are available in different geographic areas, or some may not be available in certain geographic areas.
Yep.
So if you would, I guess, just talk about your specific services, obviously moving, but maybe services that people don't know that you provide in the primarily Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City areas here.
Sure. Obviously, moving is one of our core services. We do that quite a bit. One that people don't know a lot about is our business moving services. Right now, probably about 15 to 20% of our revenue comes directly from businesses. And, our guys are professionally trained to move, cubicles, printers, all that stuff. A lot of people don't know about that one. Some of our locations offer a junk removal services. We don't here in Omaha and Lincoln, but we're looking into it. So down the road, that could be a really interesting one. We can still handle donations, which is really nice for people that are downsizing. We work with a company out of Omaha called Moving Veterans Forward. I think Ron Hernandez is the gentleman that runs that. Really good guy. And for people that are downsizing and they want to get rid of a lot of furniture, we can take their furniture and donate it to that veterans organization for homeless veterans that are trying to get back on their feet. So it's a really good use for people that have a lot of stuff and they're trying to get rid of some stuff. They don't want to go to Goodwill. we can actually make use of it and put it to good use. So that's a really good service for people that are downsizing. Our packing service is one that people really don't know a lot about too. If you don't want to touch a thing, you can literally give us a call and we will come to your house and we will bring the boxes, we'll bring the tape, we'll bring everything you need, and we can pack you up and move you and downsize you, and you don't have to lift a finger. Just tell us what to do. So it's if you're downsizing or just moving, it really doesn't get any better. We consider it a white glove premium service.
And speaking of kind of the downsizing demographic, the individuals that have been in their house for a long time, those are certainly a group that my company works with, and wants to downsize to a smaller home or apartment community, something like that. Are there any specific services you offer for a homeowner, home seller like that, or is that kind of just involved or included with the services that you just mentioned?
We do a lot of downsizing, so we kind of understand exactly what you're looking for when you are downsizing, the things you want to keep, the things you want to get rid of. There's a couple different companies that we've worked with in the past that specialize in the actual business of downsizing, which is interesting. They will work with the customer to tell them, it's probably smart to keep this, it's probably smart to get rid of this, and this is what you're going to do with this if you're going to utilize it. So that's a really interesting business that if somebody's interested in that, we can help them with that. We as a company don't actually do the downsizing planning for them, but we will assist just as much as anybody needs. Our relocation consultants are pretty awesome people. They kind of seem like therapists sometimes. I can hear them on the phone for an hour and a half with the customer, sometimes just off talking about random stories. But that's kind of how we like to do business. We're not really in the business of sales. We're in the business of customer service. So we like to give the people as much comfort as they can to make their move stress-free and their downsizing move stress-free.
What do you, kind of putting you on the spot here, what do you think is different about Two Men in a Truck versus the other, moving services and simple services that are out there for people to choose from?
Yeah. I mean, so the biggest thing that we consider ourselves different in is our level of service. We consider ourselves, like I said, a customer service company first and moving company second. We put a lot of emphasis on making sure that the customer really enjoys the move. Obviously, we want their stuff to get there fast and we want it to get there damage free, but we want them to actually enjoy the move. We put a lot of emphasis on our teams that we hire. So, we advertise a lot for people that we're hiring because we're very selective about the people that we hire. They go through a pretty darn intense training process. They do 2 days of in-house video and computer training, and then they do a full week of on-site with a professional learning how to train. We actually have a house built inside of one of our warehouses, so we can do a full week of training in an actual test house so that they know exactly what they have to move. We have pianos in-house, we have safes in-house, couches in-house, so they know how to move all this stuff beforehand so that when they get on site, it's going to be an actual perfect move. So we invest a lot of money into our employees so that we can deliver that high level of customer service, whereas a lot of moving companies don't necessarily do that. But it also creates a good culture too. As soon as you get people trained up that well and they're that professional, they don't leave as fast. So we don't have a huge turnover. And when you do that, people get to know each other better. So it's kind of like a family at our company. And that's kind of why I love it. I mean, I've been here for quite a while and I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon because I love who I work with and what I do.
Those are certainly things that I wouldn't think of, with the moving company. And I'm sure a lot of people don't think of that. So that is, I'm sure that does set you apart from some of the other companies that are out there.
Yeah, it helps us from a retention aspect. I mean, when the guys enjoy where they work, like they have an indoor basketball hoop that they can play on. They've got a theater room that they can use. They've got a full kitchen with stainless steel appliances and stocked ice cream bars all the time. So if it's hot out and they come back, they can grab a Gatorade and ice cream. We don't charge them any of that, but that's all for free. Just to know that, we want them to know we appreciate them and what they do, because what they do is very, very hard work. I probably wouldn't last a couple of days on the trucks.
Yeah, that is, I believe you.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm with you too there.
Yep.
Anything else, Brian, that you'd like to add that we haven't covered specifically here today that you'd like to mention and make sure that people that see this know about Two Men in a Truck?
I think I'd just like to reiterate our experience with downsizing and moving in general. A lot of like the senior living facilities and any of the homes in the areas, we have a really good relationship with them. We know a lot of the directors. We know a lot of the key small details, like they don't want us moving in and out around lunchtime and other stuff like that. That's all stuff that we know because we do it a lot. So when you do move with us, there's a good chance we've already moved somebody in or out of the location around where you're going. So we have the experience to get it done. We have the men to get it done fast, and you're really going to enjoy the experience.
Well, thank you for taking the time, Brian, to talk to us here today and to give us a better idea of the services that you guys provide. And I will put a link at the bottom of the notes here for our call today so that people can get in touch with you, and hope that people take advantage to do that.
I sure hope so. It was a pleasure, Ben. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Have a great day.
You too, sir.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Home Downsizing Show. For additional information and resources on home downsizing, just go to homedownsizingblueprint.com. That's homedownsizingblueprint.com. Or if you're ready to sell your house and downsize, just go to homedownsizing-solutions.com. That's homedownsizing-solutions.com. And if you have ideas to improve our show or topics that you'd like us to cover, or have any questions that we can answer, just call our office toll free 855-291-5005. That's 855-291-5005. Thank you.